Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you tonight about something that I've been thinking about a lot. If you saw my devotional today on our Facebook page, then you'll know a little bit of what's coming. But I've just been talking a lot about, with Karis, a lot about investing in our future, investing in a family, and how we get ready for that. And there is quite a process. Like guys, I've spent the last couple days talking about life insurance, identity theft insurance, car insurance. There's insurance for everything, to be honest. And just talking about how are we going to navigate that in the best way? How are we going to honor the Lord in doing that? And it really made me think all of this work that it takes to make sure that we're secure for our future. And it's good to think about those things. It's good to think about how I can be a good steward of the things that God has given us here on this earth, including a family, eventually, hopefully. Um, but I had to stop and think about this. Like, we have a future that is secure, that we know is coming, and are we ready for it? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think about heaven very often, and I I want to. I want to more. I don't want to. I don't, not so much like want to think about who's gonna be there, and is it gonna be my favorite food, and is that friend of mine that their pet just died, is their pet gonna be there? That's not as important to me. But think about, how am I going to be ready to be with Christ, where I'm meant to be in heaven, back with Him, in communion with Him. No more sin, no more pain, no more suffering. Am I ready for that? I take a deep breath of relief, and my heart takes that with me, thinking, no more pain, no more suffering, no more death. Um, that's incredible. Am I ready for that? Sure, I'm ready. Like, I want all that to take place, but am I ready to stand before God and say, I've done everything that I can with my life, and I'm ready to come to you? I mean, think about Enoch. Enoch walked with God and did not die. He was taken up in a chariot. And um, and you think about that and you go, man, I guess he was ready. If I'm that ready, Lord, are you going to take me now? That'd be great. But thinking about, how am I going to be ready for heaven? And a lot of that has to do with your relationship with the Lord. That's one of the two main things that I can think of is, how's your relationship with the Lord? What's your conversation like? Are you honest with Him? And what we talked about last week, are you saying, Lord, I don't like you right now, but I want to honor you in that anyway? Are you having those honest conversations? But are you ready to be with Him? Is what you're doing with your life reflecting how He would want you to live it and how He wants you to live it? The other thing is, are you living like heaven is a reality, in the sense that you are taking the opportunity that we have right in front of us, of this pandemic, to reach out to people who probably didn't have a view of God before, but now they do, because they've had to think about it. We have been given the opportunity to look our mortality in the face and say, oh, you do exist. I am going to die at some point, and I do have to figure out this sort of God thing if they hadn't before. There's got to be a few people in your life, and if there aren't, you really need to think about spending some time with people who are not believers, and being able to reach out to them, because, I mean, frankly, Christ did a lot of that too. Sure, He was investing in His disciples, but He reached out to people who were not saved. Think about those two aspects, guys. I'm spending so much time preparing for a house, but I want to spend that time as well preparing for heaven, preparing to be with our Savior, and bringing people with me. Realizing the reality of hell and how horrible it is, but also realizing the reality of heaven, and getting excited about that and saying, you know what? I love this person so much. I want this for them. I want even the life until then to be good preparation for that point. And how am I going to live my life differently? And so I wanted you guys to talk about that tonight in your Zoom calls, or however you're deciding to meet. Think about it. Are you ready for heaven? Are you ready to be with your Maker, your Creator, your Redeemer, your Sustainer? Are you ready to be with Him? With your relationship, with living your life in a way that you don't regret living it for Him? And two, are you talking about it with other people who don't believe, giving them that same hope, giving them that same opportunity to look that mortality in the face and say, yeah, I knew you're coming. I'm ready for you. I'd encourage you to talk about that tonight.